Hi, my name is Enrique Esparza and I will be presenting the research I did over the summer titled Use of Exclusive and Pooled Ride-Hailing Services in 3 Mexican Cities. For this research, my team partnered up with Didi, a Chinese ride-hailing company, to better understand consumer behavior in these types of platforms. Didi has 2 services, the Express service, which functions essentially as an e-taxi, and the environmentally inspired Comparte, which is a dynamic carpooling service in which riders in different parties can be matched into the same car. For this mode, a discount is offered, but there are slight detours which cost passengers time. For our research, we launched 2 surveys in 3 cities around Mexico, Aguascalientes, Mérida, and Toluca. One of those surveys was tailored to Didi users who had used the Comparte feature, while the other survey was tailored for those who had never used the Comparte feature. At this point, we split our results into 2 sections. The first one focuses on travel behavior of users. We asked, in a typical week, with what frequency would you use ride-hailing? The possible answers to the question are here on the right. From what we see on the graph, Comparte users are more frequent users than Express users. Next, we calculated the Spearman ring correlation matrix of frequency of use of travel modes. From it, we can see ride-hailing is positively correlated with public transportation and taxi use. This could mean that ride-hailing is used along with these modes, but it could also mean it is substituting these modes. Ride-hailing is negatively correlated with use of private vehicles, which could mean ride-hailing takes away the need for using private vehicles, but it could also mean that those with private vehicles have little need for ride-hailing. Something that could provide answers for these uncertainties is mode substitution. Here we see, if Didi did not exist, around 25 to 28% of its trips would be made up by public transportation. This substitution of public transportation can be made up by substituting with private vehicle trips, which we see as 11 to 15% or 20 to 34%, depending on whether we're counting taxis. But just substituting them is not enough. Ride-hailing services need to increase their vehicle occupancy relative to the trip that it's substituting. From the graph, we also see a high degree of substitutability between Didi Express and Didi Comparte, and also that 5% of trips would never have been made at all had Didi not existed. This suggests ride-hailing increases mobility for its users. Next, we go into choosing between Express and Comparte. These graphs are pretty self-explanatory. If you want to pause and look at them, it's great. But the main takeaways are that ride-hailing users care about 3 things: time, price, and safety. We investigated the trade-off between time and price here and found that people are, for the most part, willing to trade off significant time for a fair discount. Our research showed that there is a will to trade off private rides with pool rides for users. The question is, how do we manifest that? We saw just now people are willing to trade off time for money, but are they willing to trade it at an acceptable margin to ride-hailing services? If we see strides made here, we could see ride-hailing vehicle occupancy increase, thus reducing harmful effects by cars on the environment. I'd like to thank Mighty and Didi for backing this research. Thank you very much for your time.